The Gish Gallop Troll I feed, roadside service, because it's cooler out here and less noisy, hopefully, for the next 2 minutes. And I'm going to try to fit this into 15 minutes, and I've organized this by how short the question is, hoping I can do a short answer. This will fail. And this is about me peer-reviewing, someone posting a comment peer-reviewing my channel, and specifically posting about the subject of the Dogon tribe, daring me to debunk them. So I did. Because the Dogon tribe states factually that the myths about them are not true, because they don't just know their own language, they learned English and started talking to people and explaining to tourists, because they have tourists visiting, that it's bull crap. The majority of them say that. Sort of like the Hopi Indians saying the same thing. And by the way, we're going to be covering that apparently too, because this ancient wisdom myth doesn't work if the group of people you're stealing the idea from and the culture you're butchering and misquoting and exploiting doesn't really appreciate you making money in your books off of it. It wasn't a peer review, this person says. And in order for it to be that, that would constitute both of us acknowledging we are peers. I don't consider you a peer because you do not provide any links, any corroboration, or any rational thought, and you do the things that I'm seeing in this comment set. I'm posting the whole comment set verbatim. And yeah, you can try to flag it for some sort of privacy complaint. That's what people usually do. And then they find out they can't flag anything anymore. So think wisely before you flag this video. I know you're going to. I didn't mention your channel name for a reason in this video, and I'm not going to put it in the title. Next comment. What was my channel's original account name? I don't remember ever being named anything else since its inception. Your comments showed up with another person's comments that used almost identical, if not actually the same, icon for the channel and a same name. I might have mixed up your channel. That other channel still posts stuff. Yours doesn't. Said the same thing. Next, your original channel name was a random string of characters like everybody else's, unless it's really old. So, okay, you got 1 point for anti-geekendor. Now, do a little happy dance. Next, you butchered and remixed, oh god, this is funny. You butchered and remixed my actual statement to fit a conceived narrative to fit your liking for this video, asserting your assumptions about what I meant by inserting your own theories about what I meant. Or like this, I have to navigate a really truly screwed up grammar and spelling error riddled diatribe from a grown-up 5-year-old. So I'm going to leave it almost verbatim. I'm just organizing in a different order. I'm going to include your comment below. All of it. And anybody who wants to say that this doesn't need to be retyped and spell checked and proofread, you go right ahead and say so. I'm desperately trying to get through this. And by the way, I porky pig once in a while. I get mix-ups here, and we'll get to that too. I didn't butcher or remix your actual statement to fit a conceived or preconceived, is probably what you're saying, narrative, or try to create a straw man. I responded to your BS the way it should be. I corrected it, and I corrected you. I have never once in my life used the phrase, and this is the porky pig moment, I'm sure, speaking or in text, or any other form of communication. Would you mind not doing an onion loop when you talk like this? Anyway, here's the statement he never said. Secret, super, secret, impossible to have knowledge of the stars. So I can put that on a t-shirt and you're not going to claim I stole it from you. I probably porky pig. I don't think that exact phrase came out of your mouth. You're right. That's right. Yep, and that too. Next. You say my evidence was bullcrap, yet I didn't supply any. So you didn't supply anything to back up your commentary, which is why your opinion is bullshit. And the subject matter that has been professed is a created myth someone made up to sell books to wide-eyed, stupid New Agers, and is contradicted by the tribe it's made about, because the tribal members aren't only speaking their own language now, they speak other languages, mostly French, but they learn to speak English. So they don't agree with you about your assertions about them. And yes, it is your assertions. We're going to get to that next. You didn't supply any evidence because you avoid evidence. That's telling. I know you feel mighty calling me an idiot on YouTube, but you wouldn't have that much machismo if I came down, you misspelled a bunch of stuff, to the soup kitchen and confronted you face to face. Number one, I don't go to soup kitchens or collect any public assistance, even though I really should, and I've been told to. Just don't want to, because if I go in there and I see one more person who lost a leg in an army incident not getting help, I'm not going to go there. Next, everybody who says they're going to punch me in the face refuses to do it. You don't have any guts. You have a really tiny protuberance. No, you don't want to pick a fight with me, and you're not going to. And yeah, I'll make you look silly. Think clown versus bull. Play with the bull, you get the horn. Which one of us is the clown and which is the bull? Next. And no, I don't feel mighty calling you an idiot. This was a simple shoot down. I won't unsubscribe because people like you who debunk based on opinion and emotion rather than evidence and logic are what's keeping me going. That's my quote. Why are you you're quoting now. You're saying I'm doing this based on opinion and emotion. But I posted evidence and I made logical assertions and you ignored them. Gee, this sounds like you turning things on their head. Sounds like another tactic. By the way, if you're at home, figure out what score we're at for the typical behaviors of people who lose arguments and avoid talking about the argument they just lost. If you cover the subject of the Dogon people, which is what you demanded I do, we'd be good here. Let's see when you get to that. Next, I watched the whole original video, and at no point in your video did I see you communicating with the Dogon tribe. No, I didn't communicate with them, and neither did you, and neither did the persons who made these assertions and popularized them, put them in books, and put them in freaking videos on Discovery Channel and the the History Channel. The reason this is a stupid statement is, again, the Dogon tribe doesn't just know one language, and they have asserted straight out that this is not something that they're part of. To other people who've gone back and said, there's this book saying this. Oh, no, that's not true. In fact, one of the guys in the picture is where we got the ideas from. Social cross-contamination. Google the word Nomo. I did. I included a link below in the video description. Do I have to post it in all the videos now? Yeah, a bunch of people make lies up about that word, which is used by the Dogon tribe. Yes, they lie about it. Yes, the Dogon tribe says they lie about it. You're ignoring that, aren't you? You're not going to cover this. You use the word meme. I don't think that word means what you think it means. No, I'm just kidding. He wasn't even clever enough to say that. Next, to describe many things, it seems you broaden the actual meaning of the word. For me. I'm doing it just for me. No, I'm using the one that's used on the internet. The word meme has an actual specific meaning, but it's been memed. You don't like the English language adapting over time? I'm sorry. You don't like it adapting really, really way too fast on the net? I don't really like it either, but I have to use what works. You almost had a point there. Next, your assertion. Yes, they're out of order. So are you. I was not served. This is your opinion. Again, I just keep blocking your shots. You're playing pigeon chess. Not what I almost pronounced and might have gotten flagged for. That's a new meme. You're playing pigeon chess. I really hate having brain damage sometimes, but it makes fun things happen. Scary fun things. Yes, you were served. You still haven't addressed any of the subject matter you brought up. If you bring up a subject and refuse to cover it, you're avoiding the subject. And you're going to keep doing this. You're going to post another comment like this and it won't be visible. Because you're attempting to win an argument by not arguing, by not discussing the subject, or even just providing blanket evidence that actually makes some sense. The only links you're ever going to provide, or any kind of references you're going to provide, are going to be crap that's re-derived from the books and stuff that I already covered. You know that. Anybody who's actually studied that culture, and it's been studied by lots of people because it became very popular, has found out that they absolutely, totally deny any of that crap. So does the Hopi. No, they really do. I can understand why you wouldn't post my comment. Really? So you are self-aware of the bad grammar, bad spelling, a bunch of assertions with nothing to back it up, and an overt statement that you weren't trying to back up anything with evidence. You're just blowing shit out your butt. And you don't want me cleaning up your mess. Waptek doesn't like to be challenged, and it undermines his fantasy world of always being correct. No, that's where I get most of my video ideas, is people trying to prove me wrong, and I end up learning something, and sometimes I post a retraction, sometimes I just post an update where I post that, yeah, I made a mistake. This one is not that, though. Please prove me wrong instead of just doing this bullshit. If you had the level of intellect you pretend to have, Waptek, posting it would undermine your fantasy. So me posting this verbatim, or the other one posting it with grammar and spelling fixes and me trying to make it make some kind of sense, would undermine my fantasy world. I'm discussing a fantasy world you proposed I debunk based on a tribe that already debunked it because they refuted all the claims because they were not true. What part of this do you not get? This is just like the Hopi tribe thing. At 150 you say, here we go. Here's a quote. Apparently it's me, porky pigging or not, we'll see. You mean I didn't use your citations because it led to. Okay. And then he says, but then at a later part in the video you attempt to call me out for not providing citation. Which one is it? Okay, now I'm going to try to tear this apart. I didn't use your citations because it led to pages that didn't have citations. They just had assertions. You left that part out in this quote, didn't you? Maybe I didn't say that. Well, someone can go review the video and see if you're right. Remember, you're reviewing something that's literally on the net that can be checked, right? And you didn't provide the time and dates. Oh, it is. Okay, 1 minute. Okay. And then later, you don't say when, I called you out for not providing citations. Your idea of a citation is a vague assertion about someone else's vague assertions, not citations. A citation leads to original data. You refuse to provide real... You also said in here again, you didn't provide evidence. You're doing the just asking questions thing and then claiming that I'm not supposed to make fun of that. Okay, maybe you got a point here. I don't know. I really don't think so. You can't have both. And the reason I didn't provide a citation... Okay, now you're stating you didn't provide a citation. Is to see if you would do exactly what you did and make a claim that I did provide a citation. And then debunk that. You're memeing to avoid a citation is that you're making a vague assertion, so I'd have to go look it up. It's called keeping an idiot busy. Everybody knows about this. That's like people saying, do your own homework or do your own research, when they're making an assertion and they demand you go out and basically prove their point for them. It's a really good tactic to win an argument, but it has no merit. If you're going to make an assertion about the Dogon tribe that has been debunked by the Dogon tribe, you have to provide some compelling evidence. And I did debunk it. It's been debunked by other people. You just ignore all this? Okay, good. And yeah, you don't provide any citations because you don't want to be pinned down with any fact you post. And what you did provide was not citations, but assertions based on going and looking it up when it's the same thing. This way you have it both ways. You can blame me for not finding what you're not posting, which is what you just did. Anyway, as far as the author of that book that you claim is the originator of the myth, it is. In pop culture in the United States, it is. And in society, because it was used by all of the New Agers. I have never heard of that book. Really? I don't believe you. I will check it out. Good job. But I'm more concerned about how and when you learned to speak Dogon. I didn't. They learned to speak English and started contradicting all of these idiots. So you could debunk the guy's book. Yes, everybody else has already. I don't have to do all the work. I can do other people's work. No one has to do original research on this because it's from the 1970s, has been thrown out and is bullshit. If you say that the Dogon have debunked it, what is your source? The Dogon tribe themselves telling other researchers that went there. Since it wasn't named, I didn't name it because you didn't name it. Oh, I'm not allowed to do your tactic. You lead the viewer to believe this claim directly from the Dogon tribe. Yes, they did make that. They said it to the researchers. Next, you are 100% incorrect about the Hopi. There's ample videos of Hopi elders stating those exact prophecies. No, those are people who are hired actors out of the Hopi population, and they have been refuted by the Hopi. They're a private group. They don't want to get out in this. It doesn't bug me that people can look stuff up on Wikipedia. And then you bring up 9/11. And I'm going to let everybody read the rest of it because I don't want to take up the entire video with you. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And I guess I've been served.